Welcome back, everybody, to Talking Horses with me, Horse Racing Rich. As always, we are brought to you by MaxActionSports.com, home of the internet's only money-back guarantee. Well, when we last left you, we were saying seize the day with Seize the Gray, and we sure did seize the day with a nearly 10-1 winner in the Preakness Stakes. Seize the Gray ran wire to wire and won in the way we expected him to win. And now we have the two champions of the first two jewels of the Triple Crown facing off against one another in the third jewel of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes. Now, for the first time since 1967, the Belmont Stakes will not be run on Long Island. It instead will be run in historic Saratoga, New York, and that will be the first time that New York's biggest race has ever been at New York's biggest track. It is truly a historic day, and one that I know we will all enjoy very, very much. Now, for those of you who have been with us, you know the drill. For those of you who are new, what we're going to do is go through all 10 entrants. Then we're going to tell you who's going to win, and then we're going to tell you the best way to make money doing it. So without further ado, let's get to the horses. 1, Seize the Gray, 8-1. D. Wayne Lucas and Jaime Torres, winners of the Preakness Stakes and winners of the Pat Day Mile. He's going for his third win in 5 weeks, and it's not the traditional Triple Crown, nor should it even be considered or compared to it. But it will still be quite an achievement if he is able to do it. We know that Seize the Gray is best on the lead, or next to the lead, which he was in the Preakness the entire way. For what it's worth, his sire, Arrogate, set the track record at 10 furlongs over the Saratoga track in 2016, and is still to this day one of the most impressive races I have ever seen in person. 2, Resilience, 10-1, Bill Mott, Junior Alvarado. Resilience won the Wood, which is the New York prep race for the Kentucky Derby. He finished, 6th in the Derby, faded down the stretch. Not a great race, not a terrible race, not a lot to talk about. Resilience at his best is a top quality horse. The question with him is he going to be at his best? He's never put two races together. We don't have to worry about that this time because he didn't run well in the Derby. So he's a dangerous horse at a higher price. He's probably, somebody to really look at. 3, Mystic Dan, 5-1. Kenny McPeak, Brian Hernandez Jr. Look, he proved more to us in the Preakness, which was a race setup that did not suit him at all, and he still came in second, and a good second, than he did when he won the Derby on a dream trip under a perfect ride by Brian Hernandez Jr. At 5-1, that is a tremendous price for the Derby champion. You usually never get that, and we just love the fact that he's running this race, even though it's not for the Triple Crown. And I think that speaks to the determination, the health of the horse, and the quality of the connections behind. 4, the Wine Steward, 15-1, Michael Maker and Manny Franco. Manny Franco has won the Belmont Stakes before. That was in 2020. The Wine Steward's a bit of a weird horse. He's got 3 straight second place finishes. 2 of them were grade 3s, and one was the grade 1 Breeders' Cup Future. And then prior to that, his first 3 races of his career, he won 3 times. All non-graded stakes, but one of those, Manny Franco, was aboard. And imagine this, it was at Saratoga. So he's won on this track with this jockey. Very interesting. 15-1, probably get a better price than that. Something to really look into. 5, Antiquarian, 12-1. The first of Todd Pletcher's 3 entries here. Johnny V aboard. I won the Peter Pan. The Peter Pan is the prep race for the Belmont Stakes. Of course, the Peter Pan was at Aqueduct, and now the Belmont Stakes is at Saratoga. So how much of a prep is it? Probably none at all. What we do know is that he's a good horse who's had some good victories under his belt in his career. 6, Dornat, 15-1. He got the dreaded rail in Derby. What always happens happened. He gets bumped around. He gets knocked. He never gets started. Never gets finished. And that's exactly what happened. We still think at his very best, he's not a top contender. He's not a grade 1 level horse, grade 1 winning level horse, we should say. So even though he should get a better run here with Luis Saez on, who won with Central Quality in 2021. Central Quality was a really nice horse too. I'd like to go back and really talk about that more. But we're a little short on time tonight. Um, 7 Protective, 20-1. One of a very interesting horse. Todd Pletcher's second entry. Tyler Gaffleone is on him. Owned by Mike Rapoli. Now Mike Rapoli also has the 10-horse Mind Frame, who is much lower odds. But Protective is in this race for a reason. And Todd Pletcher's training him for a reason. So what is that reason? And how are we going to figure that out? Doesn't seem to be as a rabbit. That would help Mystic Dan much more than it would help Mind Frame. So what's he going to do? And why is he in there? And that's what we really got to figure out. And that's where this race is really hinged on. 8, Anna Marie. 12-1. We really liked Anna Marie to make some noise in the Derby. Coming down the stretch, we thought he'd be in the mix. He wasn't. He got bumped. Never really got going after that. So, this should be a cleaner race, and obviously not 20 horses. It's only 10. So we do expect this time that Anna Marie will be charging down the stretch, which actually, mind-bogglingly, surprisingly, is longer than Belmont. 47 feet longer, but everybody talks about the long stretch of Belmont. Nobody ever talks about it at Saratoga. It's a longer stretch. 9, Sierra Leone, 9-5. Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt, hell of connections. It's a crazy price for a really talented colt. Sierra Leone, now his claim to fame was that he roughed up Forever Young down the stretch of the Kentucky Derby to secure second. But even if he gets taken down, he's only down to third. I mean, Sierra Leone is a good horse that's really, top level and going to win a lot of races in his career as long as he keeps running. 9-5 though, I mean, and probably bet down. I don't think so. We'll tip our cap if he wins and say, hey, we know you're good, but not 9-5 good, not against this field. And 10, Mind Frame, 7-2. Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz, Mike Rapoli, and St. Elias Stables teaming up. All those things should be giant alarms to say something is going on, and something is going on. Now Pletcher's got 3 horses. Antiquarian's owned by Centennial Farms, which is a decent-sized farm, mid-sized farm up here in New York. But it's not Mike Rapoli farm. So what's Protective doing? What's Mind Frame's goal? Now Mind Frame, only 2 lifetime races, both wins, both romps. This is a step up in class, and this is a step up in distance. But this is the horse that Mike Rapoli wants to win with. So Protective's in there to do something. Block for him, do something for him. We're not really sure. That's what we got to figure out. That's what this race is all about. And without knowing that, it's going to be an interesting one. So those are our 10 horses. So who's going to win? Well, with the Belmont Stakes being run in Saratoga, you can go ahead and toss all the stuff I always talk about. You can toss all the hard work that you've done and that I've done. Doesn't matter. It's a new race. It's a different distance. It's a different track. We just don't know how 3-year-olds in June are going to react to Saratoga versus how they're going to react in Belmont. We just don't know. So Saratoga is a different track. Yes, it has the same sub base, and yes, it has, the same top, and it's going to get sealed the same way. They are expecting, weather, which, it's going to be tough, right? And if it starts raining and it pouring, track sealed, this and that, it is a mess. And a lot of the handicapping work goes away, and you really just have to try to figure it out with your gut. And that's what we're going to do with this race. There's too many variables that are unknown, right? The run-up's quicker, the turns are tighter, and the stretch is longer. Marginally, but it is longer. That's about 3, 4 strides for a horse. And we've seen races even this year, one by a nose, right? One by a neck. Well, what do you think 4 strides is? That's almost a length. It's over a length. So what we got to do is go with the gut. And our gut is telling us that all the planning by Rapoli and all the planning by Pletcher ain't gonna matter, because Seize the Gray is about to make it 2 jewels in a row, but 3 races in a row, and become the champion of the Belmont Stakes, the first Belmont Stakes raced at historic Saratoga. So how are we going to make money? Well, 8-1 and probably a little lighter, a little better. I think he's going to hold steady right around there. We're going to put our 20% win bet on. Listen, we're going with our gut. This is not one of our most confident picks ever, but it is a pick that we will stand by. So 20% on Seize the Gray to win. Then we're going to do a couple different Zack the Boxes. We're going to do Zack the Box with the top 3 horses, Seize the Gray, Resilience, and Mystic Dan. We do think Mystic Dan will be running up late, and there are many permutations here where Mystic Dan wins this race. Okay, then we're doing another Zack the Box with Seize the Gray, Mind Frame, and Honor Marie. And then we're going to do a third one with Mind Frame, Antiquarian, and Mystic Dan. Then we're going to do a try box, okay, small try box, have a little fun with Seize the Gray, Mystic Dan, Resilience, and Honor Marie. And we're going to do a couple decent sized win play show bets on Resilience, who we do think at his best can compete, and Honor Marie. So those are our bets. They'll all be included in our write-up for all the graded stakes races, which there are a ton of at Belmont, on Belmont Day. It is truly North America's greatest day of horse racing. The Met Mile, the Longines Test. It is a fantastic day, and it's a fantastic racing festival for all 4 days. So I want you to all remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Head on over to maxactionsports.com tomorrow for the write-up of all the graded stakes action. And I will be up there at Saratoga. So if you see me, come over and say, hey, Horse Racing Rich, who do you like now that it's been thunderstorming for 20 minutes? Maybe I'll take the same pick, maybe it'll be a little different, but we'll have a nice conversation about how to try to work it out. So those are the picks, those are the days. That's the Triple Crown season for 2024. Hope we've all made some money. And always remember, if you don't bet, you can't win.